Hi friends, good morning and welcome to this new class. Hope you are all keeping fine and getting interested to know more about the river system in our country and so on. So yesterday we said about the different types of rivers. Some are perennial river, some are seasonal river, and how the mountains are making the division, which is called water divide. So one side of the mountain, one river will be there, another side of the mountain will have another river, and so the top part of the mountain is dividing the rivers. So that is called water divide. So today we shall see about drainage patterns. So by drainage we understood that the river that is draining the water or removing the water from the ground is called drainage. So there are different patterns are there depending on the land size and the location. The river will be flowing in different ways. Yesterday we saw that when some rivers are flowing, they are even creating lake called Oxbow Lake. So all that is because of the land. If the water is flowing through a rocky area, it will be flowing according to the rock. It cannot break the rock and flow straight. If it is just flowing through soft soil, it may flow straight. If it is flowing through mountains, then it will be turning according to the mountainous place and so on. So accordingly we have different drainage patterns are there. In your textbook also we can see here 4 types of patterns are given here. So how the rivers are flowing. So we can see. Let us see which are these 4 types of patterns. So the streams within a drainage basin form certain patterns. So you can follow in your textbook as well, page number 18. So these patterns depend on the slope of the land, how slope is the land, then the underlying rock structure under the earth. What is the rock, hard or soft, depending on the rock. Then the climatic condition of the area, whether it is a hot region or a cold region and so on. So if it is hot region, water will be evaporating and there may not be much water. But if it is a cold place or rainy place, the water evaporation will be less and the water will be flowing in full speed. So the different things that are controlling the drainage pattern is, one is the slope of the soil, second one is the underlying rock system, and third one is the climate of that place. These are the 3 factors that are controlling the drainage pattern. Now according to these situations, we can say there are 4 types of drainage patterns are there. We already saw the picture, the 4 types of drainage systems patterns. So first one is called dendritic, and second one is called trellis, and third one is called rectangular. So the term rectangular you are all familiar in mathematics, triangular, rectangular, all these things, Then the radial, the fourth form of the pattern is radial. So let us see one by one. What is dendritic? So we can look at your picture in your textbook. The dendritic, the land is develops where the river channel flows the slope of the terrain. So the land is having slope and the water is flowing through that slopy place. So then it will be called dendritic pattern. So it will happen when 2 mountains are flowing. Water is flowing between the two mountains. So the river will be flowing this way, and from mountain slopes small channels will be flowing and joining this river. And so it looks like a tree. You can see in your picture again. It looks like a tree, isn't it? So that is the meaning dendritic. It means the tree. So it is the shape of a tree. So it is because of the land slope that this kind of pattern is being formed. The stream which is with its tributaries resembles the branches of a tree, thus the name dendritic. So the main stream is there, main river is there, and so many tributaries are coming and joining this river, and at the end it will look like a tree. So that's why this type of pattern is called dendritic pattern. Then a river joined by its tributaries at approximately right angles develop a trellis pattern. So second type of drainage pattern is called trellis pattern. What is trellis pattern? So where river is flowing. So a river is flowing. So let's say a river is flowing. Then a tributaries come and join to it at right angles. So from here a tributary is coming and joining. So here the right angle is formed. That is called trellis. So there may be many small streams coming and joining at right angle. So if that is the type of pattern, the river pattern means it will be called trellis pattern. Then a trellis drainage pattern develops where hard and soft rocks exist parallel to each other. So the reason for the forming of this trellis pattern is the presence of hard and soft rock. So in the case of dendritic pattern we saw, it depends on the slope of the land. So but in the case of trellis pattern, it depends on the presence of rock, both hard rock and soft rock. Then a rectangular drainage pattern develops on a strongly joined rocky terrain. So another third type of pattern is rectangular pattern, and it depends on hard rock. Previous one was because of the hard rock and the soft rock. But in a place where there is only hard rock is there, what kind of pattern will be formed? The rectangular pattern will be formed. And the fourth one is the radial type of pattern. So that is very easy. The radial pattern, we can see in your picture, that's a small hill and all the surrounding is having plain area. So that's a small hill on top, and so suppose this is a hill and here all surrounding is a plain land. So the small streams will be flowing this way. So that is called the radial pattern. So it will be because of the hills in all the directions it can flow, because it is a round hill. So if it is a round hill, then water will be flowing in all directions. That is called radial drainage. So we studied four types of drainage patterns. One is diantric pattern, another one is dendritic pattern, another one is trellis pattern, another one is rectangular pattern, and the fourth one is radial pattern. So it all depends on the slope of the soil, the presence of hard rock or soft rock, and so on. Then accordingly different type of drainage pattern will be formed. And a radial pattern develops when streams flow in from a central peak or dome like a structure. So it is a central peak, and so water starts flowing from here to different directions. And a combination of several patterns may be found in the same drainage basin. So under the one main river, everywhere may not have the same type of pattern, because the river is flowing a long distance. In some area there may be a rocky area, there they will develop one type of pattern. After flowing some time, it may be a slopy area, they may form a dendritic pattern there, or again after some time they may be flowing through regions of hard and soft rock, then they will be forming another trellis drainage and so on. So one river can have different patterns in different areas. So don't think that one river will be having only one type of pattern. It can have different type of patterns. So that is all about the 4 types of drainage patterns. Now we know there are rivers. Yesterday we said that there are 2 types of rivers. What are they? One group can be called Himalayan rivers, that are found originating from Himalaya and found in the northern part of India. And another group of rivers, they are originating in peninsular part of India. So they are called peninsular rivers. So 2 types of rivers, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. And we said the Himalayan rivers are longer. They are flowing such a long distance, because starting from Himalaya till they reach the sea, they have to flow. So the distance is long from Himalaya to the sea. But in the peninsular area, the sea is very nearby. These rivers are starting from either the eastern Ghats or western Ghats, and both sides there are river or sea. One side there is Arabian Sea, another side there is Bay of Bengal. So after flowing such a short distance, they will already reach the seashore and they will be entering into the sea. So these rivers are very small. Then another thing that we said about these rivers is the Himalayan rivers are perennial. They will have always water flowing throughout the year. Whether it is summer season or winter season, they will have river. So in the summer season, naturally they will have river. They will have water from the rain. And when the rain is over, the glaciers will start melting. The snow or ice will start melting, because all these mountains, Himalayan mountains, are very high and it is covered with ice, and this ice will start melting and that will be flowing through. So either it is rainwater or the snow melt water, it will be flowing through these Himalayan rivers. That's why they said they are perennial, always having water. But on the other hand, if you go to these peninsular rivers, we will find they are very short and they are completely depending on the rainwater. During the rainy season, all these rivers will be flowing full. But once the rainy season is over, the river becomes very small, we can say, like a small stream it becomes. The amount of water becomes very less. And when the rain comes again, it will be full. So the rivers are seasonal, they are not perennial. Only during rainy season, these rivers will be strong, carrying a lot of water. But other times, it is not so. Then let us go in detail about these rivers. So the Himalayan rivers. The major Himalayan rivers are Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So we have 3 major rivers starting from Himalaya. Which are they? One is Indus, second one is the Ganga, and the third one is the Brahmaputra. So Brahmaputra is mostly flowing through Assam, and we are all familiar about it, and how strong is the river, how big is the river, we are all aware about it. And these rivers are long. long. They are very long. As I said, they are starting from Himalaya and till they reach the ocean, they will be flowing, and so it becomes long. And they are joined by many large and important tributaries. So since they are flowing such a long distance, there are so many other small rivers are there, tributaries are there, they come and join to this main river. So if they are very short distance, then they will not have many tributaries. But since they are very long, there are so many small tributaries, even big tributaries are there. Then a river along with its tributaries may be called a river system. We can underline what is a river system. A river along with its tributaries will be called a river system. What is it? A river with all its tributaries will be called a river system. Now let us study one by one about these major rivers of Himalaya. So first one is the Indus River system. The Indus River. Let's see what are the specialties of this Indus River. So the river Indus rises in Tibet. So it is starting from Tibet, China, just the above the Himalaya, just on the other side of the Himalayas. So near Lake Mansarovar. So this Indus River is starting in China, Tibet, and near the Manasarovar Lake. Then following west, so they start from there and they follow to the western side, and enter into the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. So they start from where Kashmir is there. So Tibet will be somewhere here, and the Indus River is originating from the Lake Manasarovar here. Then it starts flowing towards the west, and they will enter into Jammu and Kashmir. They will enter into Jammu and Kashmir. In which place? In Ladakh. It forms a picturesque gorge in this part. So the place where it is entering into Jammu and Kashmir, the Ladakh district, where it is entering, it is creating a very beautiful scenery, a picturesque scenery. Picturesque means very beautiful scenery. Maybe there is a waterfall and so on. And it is creating a gorge. Gorge means a very deep cut. So where this water is flowing through, it is creating a very deep cut. So water is falling into that deep cut, and that is making it a very beautiful scene. Then several tributaries, the Saskar, the Nubra, the Shyok, and the Huncha join it in the Kashmir region. So when this Indus River is entering into Kashmir, 4 other rivers will come and join to it. So they are called tributaries. They come and join to this Indus River. Which are the tributaries? The Sakar, the Nubra, the Shyok, and the Hunja. These are the 4 tributaries that are joining to Indus River in the Jammu and Kashmir region. And the Indus flows through Baltistan and Gilji and emerges from the mountains at Atog. So this river will enter into Kashmir, and then it will be flowing through Baltistan and Gilgit and emerges from the mountains at Atog. Then it will come out from the mountains at a place called Atog. Then the Satluj, the Bees, the Ravi, the Chenab, and the Jhelum join together to enter the Indus near Mathankot in Pakistan. So when it is crossing the Jammu and Kashmir, this side Pakistan is there. So when it is entering into Pakistan, again many other tributaries will come and they join together, become a big river and enter into Indus. So which are the tributaries that are joining at the border with Pakistan? Like the Satluj River, the Beas, the Ravi, the Chenab and the Jhelum. So 5 rivers join together and they become a big river and then enter into Indus River. So there are other tributaries at near which place? In Mithankot in Pakistan. So remember that place name, Mithankot. It is there. These 5 tributaries join together, become one river and then enter into the Indus River. Then beyond this, the Indus flows southwards, eventually reaching the Arabian Sea. So from here it will enter to Pakistan, then it will go towards south and then finally it will enter into the Arabian Sea and east of Karachi. So at the eastern side of Karachi, the river will be joining into Arabian Sea. The Indus plain has a very gentle slope. So the plain or the area where this Indus River is flowing, that is not very deep slope. It is a very gentle slope. So the plain that is created by the Indus River is a very gentle slope. So we can imagine if it is not very steep or the slope is not very great, then the flow of water will be slow. And with a total length of 2,900 kilometers, the Indus is one of the longest rivers. So what is the length of the Indus River? 2,900 kilometers. That is the length of Indus River. So it is one of the longest rivers in the world, we can say. It is one of the longest rivers in the world, the Indus. So a little over a third of the Indus basin is located in India. So this river is originating in China, entering into Kashmir, then going into Pakistan. So it is going through 3 countries. So in India, the river is flowing only a little less than a third. 1/3 of the distance it is covering through India. All the rest it is flowing through China and Pakistan. And Pakistan has got more. And the state, so India, it is already touching the Jammu and Kashmir state. And now Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. So apart from this, Jammu and Kashmir, it is also touching Himachal Pradesh as well as Punjab. And the rest of the length of the river is falling in Pakistan. So India has got only just 1/3, the rest are flowing through Pakistan. So it is a main source for Pakistan for water source. So let's see a little general knowledge is there. So according to the regulations of the Indus Water Treaty, so in 1960 there was a water treaty agreement. In 1960 a water agreement was made between India and Pakistan. So India can use only 20% of the total water carried by Indus River system. So according to this agreement, India cannot use too much water. Only 20% of the water will be allowed for India. So all the rest of the water will be for Pakistan. And this water is used for irrigation in Punjab, Haryana and the southern and western parts of Rajasthan. So India is allowed to use just 20% of the water from this Indus River system, and that water is used mainly for irrigation for the states like Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. So these are the three states that are benefiting from the waters of Indus River. So remember, which are the tributaries of Indus River that is joining at in China, or in the place of Attock in Kashmir, or another place before it is entering into Pakistan at Mithankot, which are the tributaries that are joining this Indus River. So remember all these names of the tributaries, and the length of the river is 2,900, and the treaty that was made between India and Pakistan in 1960, as per that treaty, India can use only just 20% of water, and the rest of the water will be for Pakistan, and so on. So we shall wind up for today, and the next class we shall study about another big river, Himalayan river, about Ganga we shall see. So today we will wind up, and so thank you for listening and have a nice day.